And in El Salvador, social movements condemn the proposal of President Nayib Bukele to exchange kidnapped Venezuelan migrants in a maximum security prison in the country. They also describe as hypocritical the president's affirmation that in his country there are no political prisoners. From San Salvador, our correspondent Roberto Hugo Preza with the details.
The organizations that make up the Popular Resistance and Rebellion Bloc raised their voices in condemnation of President Nayib Bukele's proposal to use imprisoned Venezuelan migrants as a bargaining chip.
We have strongly repudiated the cynicism of the Bukele regime, who in a desperate attempt to wash its image before the international community has ended up accepting that it is holding Venezuelan citizens hostage publicly on its X account, an alleged prisoner exchange between Venezuela and El Salvador. This act is nothing more than a propaganda maneuver to hide its own repressive and criminal policy against the Salvadoran people.
No más muerte, no más minería, y por eso nuestros compañeros están capturados.
This social movement affirms that in El Salvador, there is persecution of opponents and political prisoners.
Historical leaders of the Salvadoran left, persecuted for their legacy of revolutionary struggle, as in the case of Eugenio Chicas, members of social organizations such as Fidel Zavala, Atilio Montalvo, Pepe Malara, and other unionists. Environmental activists such as the Defenders of Cabanas imprisoned for opposing mining and neoliberal plundering. Journalists and critical communicators silenced for denouncing human rights violations.
Críticos silenciados por denunciar las violaciones a los derechos humanos.
The social movement regrets that El Salvador is adopting a strategy of interference.
We regret and condemn that these acts of interference continue to be repeated. It is also regrettable the vocabulary used by President Bukele when referring to the government of Nicolas Maduro, of Comrade Nicolas. This is really a smokescreen.
Realmente esta es una cortina de humo.
The FMLN also took a firm position. The Secretary General of the party considers that this is a maneuver previously planned by the global ultra-right.
Why have only Venezuelans been brought to the CECOT prison in El Salvador? Why not Peruvians? Why haven't they deported people from other countries? And this is precisely the question we are asking ourselves at the international level. It is a plot prepared by the fascist right wing of Venezuela, by Marco Rubio, by the US, globalists, against countries that do not bow their heads before the pretensions of Donald Trump.
Officially, the Supreme Court of Justice and the Salvadoran Prosecutor's Office have not responded to the request made public on Sunday by the Venezuelan prosecutor, who asked for details of the migrants imprisoned more than a month ago.
Roberto Hugo Preza, TeleSUR, El Salvador.